Alright, and welcome to factoring sums of cubes. Now we want to factor x cubed plus 8, and this is pretty tricky, but we're going to make this very easy with a kind of cool little formula. Now how do you start a problem like this, or how do you recognize a problem like this? Well, step number one, I would always identify this 3 here. This indicates that we were looking at a cube or a cubic expression. Let me go ahead and write that down. A cubic expression, or if it was equal to something, it would be a cubic function or a cubic equation. So this is some sort of cube. We also know that the word sum means to add. And lastly, we would always want to take a look at this 8, and what you would want to do, you want to ask yourself, hey, is 8 cubed a perfect cube? Now guys, what I would do is I would encourage you to use your calculator for that, the Desmos calculator. But what is 8 cubed? Well, if we just break it down our normal way, 8 breaks down into 2 times 4, and 4 breaks down into 2 and 2. And remember, a cube root, I apologize, a cube root is looking for 3 numbers that are the exact same. So the cube root of 8 is 2. Okay, so here's a different way for you to write this. You could write this as x cubed plus 2 cubed, and we're going to actually label the x as our a value and the 2 as our b value. And then from here, once we do this, we can actually go ahead and we can write a formula. So what's the formula? Well, we say that a cubed plus b cubed can actually be written as a plus b times, and here let me just kind of clean this up a little bit so it's not in the way, but times a squared minus a times b plus b squared. So this is a handy little formula, and at first glance you're thinking like, man, Mr. Hastings, that is crazy, I don't want to write that, but I promise you it's actually pretty simple. So let's go ahead and let's see how this works. So here we have a plus b. Well, look, our a term is x, our b term is 2, it's x plus 2. Here we have a squared. Our a term is x. What is x squared? It's x squared. That's easy. You will always write this minus sign, and then from there, we're going to write a times b, or x times 2 is 2x. And lastly, we have b squared. Well, our b term is 2, so what's 2 squared? Well, 2 squared is equal to 4, so plus 4. And now we have taken x cubed plus 8, and we have factored it. So this was x cubed plus 8. Well, this is what it really breaks down into. X plus 2, parentheses, x squared minus 2x plus 4. And there we go. Alright guys, let's move on to our second example. Okay, for example 2, we want to factor x cubed plus 27. Now remember, what are my clues here? 1, I know that this is a cubic expression. Okay, I know that this is a sum, and I know that this is potentially a perfect cube. So let's just test that out. Here's the cube root of 27. It breaks down into 3 and 9, and 9 breaks down into 3 and 3, and we can then circle those. We know that the cubic root of 27 is 3. This is what's called a perfect cube. So let me go ahead and write that. Now a couple things. We're now going to rewrite this. We're going to rewrite this as x cubed plus 3 cubed. And here we know that our x value is our a term and our 3 is our b term. Now one other thing that I want y'all to note is that whenever we have, let's just kind of write out our formula. Whenever we have x cubed plus, let me write out the actual formula. When we have a cubed plus b cubed, and we say, okay, well that's going to be a plus b, and then a squared minus ab plus b squared. I want y'all to focus on 2 parts of this. I want y'all to say, okay, well this is a positive, so this plus must be the same. And this middle sign is the opposite, okay? And then the last thing, we'll say that this plus right here is an always. That is an always kind of statement. Okay, so let's go ahead and write out our final answer using the formula. And once again, I know that a lot of you are thinking like, man, Mr. Hastings, this is real difficult, but check it out. Our very first part of the formula is a plus b. So this is literally equal to x plus 3. Parentheses. When you look at this, it's a squared. Our a term is x. Well, what is x squared? It's x squared. We use the opposite of the plus. We use our minus sign. And what's x times 3? That's 3x. And what's 3 squared? Well, that's 9. And boom, we've just factored a cubic function. All right, y'all, I'm going to do one more of these, but I'm going to do it rapid pace. So here we go. Okay, guys, we have x cubed plus 64. I know that I can write this as x cubed plus, and the cube root of 64, just go use your calculator. It's 4. It can be written as 4 cubed. Now from here, I know that this is my a term, my b term, and so I'll write x plus 4, x squared. I do the opposite sign of our plus, so I put the minus, and a times b, 4 times x is 4x, and 4 squared is 16. Ta-da. Look how easy it was to factor that cubic function. Alright guys, I hope this helps, and I'll catch y'all in our next lesson.